I can remember being in the office on days when we were just so run off our feet with animals coming in, going out. One day we had 60 cats and kittens coming in. So it was very, very full on. There seemed to be animals everywhere. The cages, cat cages and the dog pens were always full to the brim. We even had cats in offices, in little crates. I even remember the boardroom at one stage being full of animals because we literally had no room to accommodate.
The kennels were full all the time. We took a lot of animals from the external pounds, and at that time, if you were a black dog or a cattle dog and there was already a number of those in the adoption pens, you didn't really get a chance.
Being involved with the operations of the shelter, there'd be days there, when the vet was here to do the euthanizing, where there were animals just lined up to be euthanized. There was just so many animals coming through and not enough homes for them. So the amount of animals coming through was really horrendous. So that was the situation back then. It was.
Because Animal Welfare League of Queensland manages all stray animals for the Gold Coast City Council and takes in most of the surrenders, we felt we were in a unique position to work on getting solutions for a whole city. So we gathered the data and we actually went to the public through the newspaper and actually told them how many animals were being euthanised at that stage, 4,000 cats and dogs on the Gold Coast, and was that acceptable? Which of course they responded that it was not acceptable. So then we went to all the stakeholder groups and asked them would they come along and be part of developing and implementing solutions.
Well, I started in 1977 and in the last 22 years I was in charge of the animal management section. I saw myself as being able to assist the program in trying to identify some of the rocks that might pop up from time to time on the road with legislation or politics and things that you had to navigate through to try and get this thing successful.
There are enough animals in this world who seem to be looking for homes and they can't find them. So if we can get to a policy where we're not producing the excess animals but we're finding homes for all the healthy ones, then I think we're doing a good thing.
I think it's always a challenge to convince other welfare groups, but in particular local government council-run pounds, that they don't have to be focused on euthanasia.
I've been involved with the Animal Welfare League of Queensland Coalition since 2004 when it began, and I represented the Queensland Feline Association as well as later on the Australian Cat Federation. Well, during that time we've developed a responsible breeder program where we try to encourage people to desex their pedigree cats before they're sold, and many breeders have come on board to do that, and also the Gold Coast City Council have a law now that breeders on the Gold Coast must desex their cats.
By 2009, we realised our strategies were starting to work because we finally reached zero euthanasia of all healthy and sociable cats and dogs, and we were well on the way to saving a lot of the treatable animals as well.
Getting to zero, as you know, as everyone probably knows, is just not one solution. And the desexing program, the microchipping programs, all the other programs are all attributed to the outcome. And the association with the local veterinary clinics and things like that with the desexing was really done well, and we were able to keep everyone pretty well happy, including the pet owners, which was a big thing.
Yeah, so in our community clinic, the philosophy there is that, any client that comes in with a pet that needs treatment, we feel that the pet should receive that treatment without the owner having to stress and having to euthanize because they've got no money to treat their pet. So to that end, we do offer payment plans, and sometimes we do charity so that animals that are treatable won't have to be euthanized just because the owners can't afford their treatment.
The more people you can educate and get the message out, the better, and not just to school age people, which is what everybody thinks of when you think of education, but definitely to the wider community. And over the years, we've developed some amazing programs that sort of extend far beyond school age years, so from prep through to TAFE groups, and even further on beyond that, educating adults as well about responsible animal care, and certainly offering people the opportunity to come into the shelters and get that hands-on experience that they need.
We had a very basic foster care program at the time, which I then took over, and we increased from 10 carers to over 200. It obviously allowed us the ability to foster animals that weren't old enough to go up for adoption, because that was always a big thing. Where do we put a 4-week-old kitten for 4 weeks? So it allowed us to do that. It allowed us to foster out sick animals that we weren't able to adopt. So that was a big move for us.
Some of the rehoming strategies that we have, we focus more on our Facebook social media, and the staff really work hard to make their adoption summaries more personable. We work with our photographers to engage the photos to match what our adoption summaries say about the animals.
It's not going to be an easy journey, but it can be done with determination and passion.
We don't have easy days here. Every day is a push. So we have to all be on our game every day, really, to make it happen.
I think that it has to be a community approach. It's not just something that one person can do alone, and everybody has to be on board. The importance of having the local councils involved, anyone really who has an interest in the animal industry as a whole, it's important for them to get on board.
Hearing about the goals of the Getting to Zero initiative really drove me to want to work for an organisation that cared so much about the welfare of the animals.
I think the Getting to Zero is a journey, and I think the ultimate goal is that every single dog and cat born has a loving home to go to. That has to be the ultimate.